Hey, what's going on YouTube? This is your boy James, and it is Friday. Wanted to go live, was thinking about doing a video, but decided that going live would be better. I do not have the time to edit on my break. Got about 20 minutes. Just wanted to touch base with the audience, want to touch base with the community, and talk a little bit about um, last night's happening in the NBA. Crazy, crazy, crazy. And um, it started a few days ago with the Draymond Green Sabonis situation up in Sacramento. Been well documented, been talked about at nauseum. Draymond, Sabonis got tangled up. Sabonis grabbed him by the ankles while uh, Green was trying to get out on a fast break, and in that process, stomped on him, because that was where he could go. And I just want to put a little perspective on that in regard to my opinion. I'm okay with a flagrant two, eject him from the game. Definitely okay with that. But the follow up, which came from the league and Joe Dumars, who I have a lot of respect for, loved his game, love Joe Dumars, what he has brought to the game as a player. Don't know too much about what he's doing as an exec, other than seeing this latest decision that he made on suspending Draymond for Game Three, which turned out to be a mute thing anyway. Warriors went on to get that W at the Chase Center here in San Francisco to get back into that series. It is now 2-1 Sacramento. But had they lost that game and gone down 3-0, we would definitely be still talking about that situation in a different light. But again, give the guy a flagrant two, eject him from the game, keep it moving. All right, that's my thoughts on it. I know a lot of people have similar thoughts. A lot of people have different thoughts that believe that the suspension was warranted. I don't, um, and I'm just going to leave that at that. Love to hear any comments if you have any comments. Love to have some folks join in the community live, or if you catch this on the replay a little bit later on. But let's fast forward, or actually go back to last night's game in regards to the Sixers and the Nets in their game three that went back to Brooklyn. Um, uh, 76ers have been dominating that series, are still dominating that series, was up 2-zip, went back to Brooklyn. Brooklyn played well, played really, really well, and was in it late until the third quarter, I believe it was, maybe a little bit later. And then some things happened, and eventually the Sixers came out and got that W. But in the first quarter of that game, first period, first quarter of that game, uh, Claxton and Embiid got into a little something. I think it was chippy, and I mean, this is really early. And basically, what happened is Claxton caught an alley oop, dunked it. And as most folks do when they have situations like that, they got amped, want to get the crowd up. And Claxton did one of those Allen Iverson-esque almost walkover tie loose situations from back in the day. And Embiid was having none of it, and he welled his leg up in between guys' legs, in between Claxton's leg, and that was a very, very intentional action. He meant to do that. Claxton had not touched him. You may say that Claxton provoked him, and I'm hearing a lot about, oh, Claxton provoked his manhood by stepping over him, which is one of the most disrespectful things that you can do. Well, you know what? I look at that this way. I am in total agreement. That is a very disrespectful thing. But the only thing that's going to be hurt in that situation from Joel Embiid is his pride, his manhood. That's all that's going to be hurt. If we go back to the Draymond Green situation, dude, Sabonis grabbed his ankle when he's trying to run and get up the court. The injury that Draymond could have received as a result of that person holding his legs is much greater than just his pride. He could have been out for the remainder of the series. If we go back to last year, when we remember Gary Payton II busted elbow against Memphis because of a dirty play, right? Nobody wants to talk about that. I haven't seen lots of people talk about how dangerous that situation was in Sacramento when Sabonis grabbed his leg, which could have caused Draymond to fall forward on his elbows, on most likely his wrist, because he's going to try to break that fall, and what type of damage that could have done. So to me, um, much more uh, egregious on Sabonis, where I think he got a technical. Even his could have been upgraded to maybe a flagrant one. It may have been a flagrant one. If you know, please drop that in the comment section and let me get that information. But I'm just saying that the situation could have been a lot worse for Draymond Green as far as injuries are concerned because of the nature of what Sabonis did. Back to the Nets game. Embiid intentionally tried to kick Claxton in his groin. He got a flagrant one. That doesn't add up to me. Am I saying he should have been uh, suspended? I'm thinking he should have at least got a flagrant two, and he should have been ejected at that point in the game. And it was very, very early. Did that go into the thought process of the referees that this play happened so early in the game that we can't give him a flagrant two and eject him, and then we take all of that flack? See, I haven't heard a lot. I'm hearing a lot of people talk about the situation and comparing it to Draymond's situation, the Kings and the Warriors situation, where those guys got into it, but not from the angle of this happened very, very early in the game. Were they worried about how having Embiid ejected in the first couple of minutes of the game, what that backlash would have been like on them as officials? I'm just bringing it up, just food for thought, because that's what I'm thinking. Because there's no way in the world, in my opinion, someone intentionally trying to kick another man in his groin does not get a flagrant foul too and eject it from the game. Just going to leave it that way. And then if we go forward in that game a little bit later on, James Harden, who is notorious. And I think most guys in the league are notorious for the little chicken wing, you know, slapping guys. I see it all the time. Getting that hand off, right? Because these guys no longer can hand check, but they still do that. They're still crowding people's space, and people are trying to get room to maneuver. And to me, James Harden, that foul, boom, that slap, it was an obvious slap that should have been, in my opinion, a flagrant one. Not a flagrant two and an ejection, but that should have been a flagrant one. So referees, officials, you know, you guys have got to, in my opinion, get it right. Be consistent. Even if you're looking at someone's history of what they've done, you were not consistent, and I believe in executing to the letter of the law what those fouls were, right? And I'm trying to get something right now. I'm trying to grab my phone. So give me a second, because what I want to do, because I looked it up, because I wanted to know what flagrant one was, what a flagrant two is, to make reference. Give me a sec. And I'm just going to read it. So here we go. All right. So flagrant fouls in the NBA. Referees may use replay whenever they are not reasonably certain whether a foul meets the criteria for a flagrant foul. Previously, the foul had to be called flagrant on the floor in order to initiate the instant replay. The definition of a flagrant foul is flagrant foul penalty one. So this is what Joel Embiid received for his kick to the groin area. Unnecessary contact committed by a player against an opponent. So it was unnecessary and it was committed by a player against an opponent. Flagrant foul penalty two, unnecessary and excessive contact committed by a player against an opponent. So you're telling me that an intentional kick to the groin because you feel disrespected was not excessive? That wasn't excessive? I believe it was. When a flagrant foul call is made, referees conduct a review and consider the following: whether the foul call be categorized as a flagrant one or two, thus ejection if it's a flagrant two, or stay as a common foul or change to a technical foul. Whether whether any other players committed unsportsmanlike acts immediately prior to and or immediately following the foul. So, based on this review and the criteria, they will assess the appropriate penalty: flagrant one or two, flagrant but not foul, not flagrant, or technical foul. Okay, so a lot there to think about. And again, you know, I don't think the acts. I believe the acts, and I'm not talking about the history or the person that who committed the acts. I'm talking specifically about the acts. I really thought Joel Embiid's act was much more egregious than the act that Draymond did. And the reason being is because the level of um, influence that the opponent had on each one of those gentlemen who created a flagrant foul, they were two different levels. One did not touch him, and it was more of a mental thing. The other one, when we go back to Sacramento Sabonis, was a physical act that he inhibited the movement of another player, which we can say could have caused him not to be able to fully extend his leg forward and caused it to come up short, hence on his chest. That's how I'm looking at it. And as a football player, I've been tackled at my legs many, many of times. I've also tackled people by their legs many, many a times, and your movement is restricted. I'm not saying the NBA is football or the NFL, but what I am saying is this: regardless of what sport you're playing, basketball, football, any other sport, if someone is making contacts to your legs, they are impeding your opportunity to move forward. You're not going to move as far forward as you would have if you were unrestricted by another individual. Draymond was restricted. Claxton did not restrict Embiid. So just wanted to come with that real quick. Like I said, this was a short live. Um, Take a look at the video, make some comments. I'll come back to it and see what y'all think. But just wanted to get get that off my mind, get that off my chest because it's been bugging me, man. That's just bad officiating, in my opinion. We need a level of consistency, you know. And I don't like the take of, oh, it's the playoffs, and you shouldn't call this. Listen, a foul is a foul. Regular season, playoffs, it don't matter. If it violates the rules as they are written, then you need to call it. But you need to call it consistently and accurately so people know what they can and can't do. That's all I got to say. Hey, this is your boy James. Got five on it. And remember, fatherhood is a journey you don't have to do alone. So don't, this right here is a part of fatherhood engagement. If you love what we do, please subscribe to the channel. Please like this video. And I really appreciate all the support that everybody's been giving. Enjoy your Friday and your weekend. I'll see y'all on the next take of I Got Five on It. Peace.